Questions and Answers with the Prince of Macedon.
Hey guys, Prince of Macedon here, and I'll be doing questions and answers with you guys. Some of you guys sent questions, and I was able to answer a few of them. Not all of them, though. But anyways, before I do that, I just want to talk about my day today. I went to the beach, and I had a rough day there because while I was filming something there, I dropped my camera into the freaking ocean. And I only dropped my camera there for like, I think 2 seconds it was underwater. But when I picked it out of the water, it was dead. Like, I tried turning it on, I tried drying it off, like, it would not work at all. So, I had to get a new camera. Alright, well, enough about my camera problems. Let's start this questions and answers party now. First question comes from Iceland, I think. His name is Andritter. His question is, my question is about a name that has given every news reporter in the world a headache to pronounce. So my question is, can you pronounce this word? Well, I'm going to try to pronounce this word here. Eyjafjallajökull. Sorry, I'm not Icelandic, and I'm not a news reporter either, so I have no clue how to pronounce that. The only language classes I took were German and French, and a little bit of Spanish. So, Icelandic is way off for me. I don't know how to pronounce that kind of word. It's so long. Alright, so the second question comes from a guy named III0II, whatever. Who do you think would win in a fight? Ahem, a squadron of bear cavalry, or a flying shark with laser beams attached to its head? That is all. Well, I would say the bear cav would win, hands down, because if you look at it this way, a shark's brain is so small that I don't think it would be intelligent enough to keep itself airborne for more than 3 seconds before it crashes right into the ground. And when that shark crashes, that's going to give the bear enough time to dismount and claw that shark to shreds. Rawr! That guy's been watching too much Austin Powers. Anyways, my next question comes from Garanovich. His question is, are you looking for an armored suit from Alexander the Great? Or do you have one already, and can we see it? Hopefully I get a response. Cheers, Goran from Belgium. Well, Goran from Belgium, I do not have an armored suit yet from Alexander the Great, but I am saving up to buy one. In fact, every time I get change, I'm going to put it into my Alexander the Great savings account. After about 20 years of doing that, I'm going to have enough money to get a linothorax. That's a very light piece of breastplate. That's the kind that Alexander the Great wears in the movie Alexander, starring Colin Farrell. It's actually much lighter than the bronze cuirass that you see on Deadliest Warrior. This one's actually lighter. It's better for horsemen. And I want to get that, and I also want to get a replica helmet, the kind worn by Colin Farrell in the movie Alexander. I think that one's going to cost me about $1,000, so that's why I have my little savings account right here for that purpose. Alright, my next question comes from the Scottish Warlord. His question is, who do you want to win Wimbledon 2010, and who do you think will win? Well, I'm pretty sure Federer is going to win again. As for who I want to win, I want myself to win. Advantage Prince. Alright guys, this next question comes from 2 different people. I have no idea who asked it first. It's from Quad Stuff, and it's also from the Emperor of Seleucia. The question is, Burger King or McDonald's? Well, that's pretty difficult. When it comes to burgers, like outright burgers, Burger King, definitely. But when it comes to French fries, McDonald's. But when it comes to desserts, like or snacks, whatever, I like McDonald's McFlurries, especially Oreo. Alright, this question comes from FreeSubs164. His question is, if you get $5 million, what would you do? Well, I think there's already a song for that, but I'm going to sing my own song. I would probably start by getting a house in Seattle. That way I can commute back and forth from Florida to Seattle and film adventures between those states. And I'd also want to fund a real adventure where I retrace the steps that Alexander took in this campaign. I'd start in Greece, go towards Afghanistan, then come to India, and then swing back towards Iran. I'd like to do that and then like document it. What else could I do? Oh yeah, I could also eat at McDonald's and Burger King, and maybe I can get a new camera because, as you know, I freaking dropped this thing in the water. This thing ain't coming back. Yeah. Alright, we have a question from the Tom and Andy Show. Their question is, do you prefer Epcot to places like Disney World, Universal, or Busch Gardens? And if Epcot, what is your favorite country to go there? Sorry if there's like 2 questions or too long. Well, first I want to correct you on one thing. Epcot is actually part of Disney World. Disney World is comprised of Animal Kingdom, Hollywood MGM, Epcot Center, and Magic Kingdom. But yeah, I do like Epcot the most, and probably my favorite country to visit would probably be Norway, just because the Norwegian girls that work there are fantastic. And that's not the only reason why I like the Norwegian Pavilion. I also like it because of the Maelstrom ride. Well, it's called the Maelstrom Adventure, but it's a ride there, and it starts off with a 10-minute video presentation on Norwegian history. Like, it begins with an image of a Viking ship. This kid's looking at it, and then when he looks into it, he sees Norway through the ages, and it's really sweet. But when you get on the actual ride itself, it's this little boat ride. But things go crazy when these trolls take over your boat. It's pretty sweet. My next question comes from Super White Cookie. His question is, Hallo mein Freund, wann hast du vor das Abenteuer Video zu posten, in dem du nur Deutsch sprechen willst? Und meine Antwort ist, ich weiß nicht, ich brauche ein Filmskript zuerst. Alright, this next question comes from the Master of Bates. His question is, to you, what was the most important or strategic battle in World War II? The one that had the most impact in the long run? Well, there's plenty of answers I can give for that, but I'm going to say Pearl Harbor. Because Pearl Harbor, to me, it says that Japan is not going to help Germany fight against Russia. Instead, Japan's going to start this war against the United States. And by doing so, Russia is free to concentrate on Germany. And also, this brings the United States into the war with the full backing of the American public. Alright, I have time for one more question, and this will come from Nemo GPS. His question is, who is your favorite general or commander-in-chief from the 20th century? Well, in terms of military men from the 20th century, I would probably say Erwin Rommel is my favorite. He was an aggressive commander. He led from the front like Alexander the Great. But yeah, not just for his tactics that he showed in World War II, like for instance in France, Normandy, North Africa, this guy fought with extremely limited resources, so you could think of him as a big dog on a very short leash. So he could bark only as far as his leash would let him, but he tried to do what he could to go beyond that leash. And aside from that, he also did what he could to protect the Jewish prisoners that he had, and the High Command was telling him to exterminate them, and he did what he could to not do that. He also wrote this book called Infantry Attacks, and that's about his infantry experience in the Great War. It's a very good book, and he was a very aggressive commander even in the Great War. But yeah, that's all I have time to answer today. The next time I do questions and answers, I'm going to put a big notice on my status update, and I'll give you guys like 2 or 3 days to ask me questions, and I'll pick a few questions that I want to answer. So until next time, that is the Prince of Macedon with questions and answers.